I will tell you that living with MS is very difficult. I've been living with it for 30 years. I had my first symptoms when I was 19, which were losing the ability to feel my legs. That was when I was 19, like just in college, just starting my life. Ultimately, didn't get the diagnosis until I was 23. I actually lost my ability to use my hands.
Wow.
I got a text from an agent yesterday, 17 deals, and she's like barely hanging on.
Well, so the hustle culture, right? That grind culture. I mean, you, through your pharmaceutical sales, I mean, you lived that, you emulated that despite your health condition. No is a complete sentence. And I think we forget that, right? We feel like it's going to be no, comma, and some explanation.
And I spoke with an agent that's not even in our organization yesterday, and she said, Michelle, you have a beautiful spirit. And I thought, that's it. That is my X factor.
Today's guest co-founded Now Nation, a collaborative network inside of eXp Realty built around real production, real leadership, and long-term wealth, without the ego or pressure that tends to follow success in this industry. She also happens to be building all of this while managing a multiple sclerosis diagnosis. My guest is Michele Roderick. And what I love about her story is that it's not about overcoming, it's about designing a business that works for your life, not the other way around. Michele, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Wendy. I'm so happy to finally be here.
I'm excited to get to talk with you today.
Yeah.
So let's set the stage before we dive into our conversation. Tell us a little bit about your business today and Now Nation.
Okay, so business today is comprised of me supporting our agents within Now Nation. We're sitting at about 100, and then growing that. So that's my 100% focus.
And that would be in EXP terms, that would be sort of your revenue share organization is branded Now Nation.
Correct.
Okay.
And I'm fully committed to that. I'm really not in production. I have one listing right now, but I made the decision to just 1000% lean into that 12 months ago because I felt like that's my superpower. That's where I'm meant to be. So, and then in addition, obviously, I do a little bit of investing with my husband with syndicates. And then I'm also co-chairing Healthy Mind Collective and founder of the Live Well Realtor Alliance, which is a local real estate network that I'm growing. So that's about it.
Well, that's a lot. I mean, that's a lot. So obviously the passion that you have for well-being comes out in everything you do. And that stems from your own personal diagnosis and how you've had to manage life and business, living with MS. So tell us like a little bit about what that has been like for you as an entrepreneur.
So I will tell you that living with MS is very difficult. I've been living with it for 30 years. I had my first symptoms when I was 19, which were losing the ability to feel my legs. Wow. That was when I was 19, like just in college, just starting my life. And then, I was obviously very confused, scared. But then ultimately didn't get the diagnosis until I was 23. I actually lost my ability to use my hands.
Wow.
And so, but through all of that, it led me to a career in pharmaceutical sales where I received top 1% sales award in the world. Despite,
Wow.
I think really being diagnosed with a chronic illness at a young age, it fueled me to really want to be successful and to be able to accomplish things partly out of fear, right? Because I was like, oh my gosh, I may not be able to walk someday. I may not be able to work someday. I got to make as much money as I can, as fast as I can. And so it served me well in that regard. But it came with its limitations because I was really working at a capacity that was not sustainable. So that was kind of the background of the MS and the onset. And then, I ended up resigning, met Courtney Twiss. Here we are 12 years later in real estate, growing this organization. And I have found in this industry, agents are working so hard and not they're not doing it in a way that's sustainable. They're just always on, taking phone calls at 7, 8, 9, working nonstop. I got a text from an agent yesterday, 17 deals, and she's like barely hanging on.
Yes. Well, so the hustle culture, right? That
Mm-hmm.
grind culture. I mean, you through your pharmaceutical sales, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you lived that, you emulated that despite
Mm-hmm.
your health condition.
Mm-hmm.
You've made the pivot. You're now in an industry that rewards that exact culture. Yet you are coaching and
Mm-hmm.
leading and setting an example that you don't have to build your business with that culture or with that mindset. You can do it differently.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean though? Because I think that that's easy to put words to.
Mm-hmm.
It's very different to put actions around.
Mm-hmm.
So coach me.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
need this coaching as much as anyone else does. Coach me on the actions it takes to align the words, to break free from that feeling of the culture of the hustle mindset that we so have.
Well, first of all, I think coaching someone on really identifying the hours in which you have every single week to truly commit to your real estate career. And what I mean by that, Wendy, is what does your weekly hour structure look like? Reverse engineer that. There's 168 hours, I think, in a week, right? You need to deduct your sleeping, right?
Which is super important. For
They're
me, I need at
non-negotiable.
least 7 hours a night. I know I need my
Yes,
7 hours.
yes. So there's literally a Google sheet that I have that it's just take those hours, deduct your non-negotiables. And when I say non-negotiables, I mean your time as a wife, right? Your time hiking, running. I know that you like to run, right? What is it that you like to do that fuels your soul, Wendy? Is it praying? Is it meditating? Is it eating right? All of those things need to come first.
Yes. So if we break this down, so I'm taking my 24 hours in a day. So I'll take the daily. You said weekly, but I'll take the day. I
Yes.
take my 24 hours in the day. I'm
Mhm.
taking off how many hours am I sleeping? How many hours am I doing the other things
Right.
that the being a spouse, being a parent, looking after myself, going to the gym, other hobbies I may have, and then getting it down to, okay, I have got 8 hours to work. I've got 10 hours to work. I've got 4 hours to
I
work.
was going to say it might look like 4.
Right, right.
So if
And
you've
then
got
what am I doing on those 4 hours?
4
However,
hours,
right.
that's
Okay.
really what I'm trying to say. And if it's like talking with your clients, how much time do you need for that? If it's prospecting, how much time do you need for that? You need to pick the number one revenue share activities that you need to do in those 4 hours. And
Yeah.
that doesn't maybe include like going to, a networking event just to say hi to some people for 4
Right.
hours,
Right. Just to make an appearance.
just to make an appearance.
Which I
So,
think that is where so much of our time gets, I'm going to say, lost, is doing the things that don't directly equate to the revenue generating activities. And then we feel like we're busy. And more importantly, I know in your case with MS, you're expending a lot of energy that you don't have to expend. And I think even for those of us who aren't battling health conditions, we're expending energy and then we don't have energy for our loved ones. And I witness that in so many agents where they expend so much energy on their clients, on their business, on so many other things. There's nothing left for the
mhm,
people that they love.
mhm. Which is why I say you have to design that on the front end. so that you can ensure that when you're creating your ideal week, right? We talk about time blocking all the time, which is essentially what you're doing, but you're carving out that time that you need for yourself and your family first, not after. You know what I mean? So I think that if you do that exercise, you identify your ideal week, then the next step is you're equipped to be able to say, I'm not, it doesn't align with my schedule. You don't need to say why. You don't need to say why, Wendy. You don't owe anybody, I can't because I can't because I don't feel good. I can't because I need, no. You just need to say simply, it doesn't really fit in with my schedule. This
Michelle, has it gotten easier for you to say no?
100%. But I
Okay.
used to feel like I would say no and I'd have to say why. Like, I'm sorry I can't make it because I don't feel good today. I'm sorry I can't make it because I have to go to Stanford for infusions. I'm sorry I can't. I'm apologizing, justifying. Like, I've now been like, I don't owe anybody anything. I just need to say, Wendy, I've looked at my calendar. Unfortunately, that doesn't really fit in for me next week. Maybe it could fit in 2 weeks from now. I mean, you have to make that decision, but
So I
I don't
think
say
the
sorry.
what you just said, I looked at my calendar and I'm sorry it doesn't fit in, is such a great reply. And the other thing that I love is like no is a complete sentence. And I think we forget that, right? We feel like it's going to be no, comma, and some explanation. And as you said, we don't need to give the explanation.
I coached an agent yesterday on this. She says, "Oh my gosh, I said I would do this thing for this association meeting and giving back to the vendors, and I really want to go." And she's just telling me yesterday, I said, time out. All you need to say is thank you for the invitation. I appreciate it. My calendar, unfortunately, is booked for the day. Maybe I'll see you on the next one.
Love
That's
it.
it.
Yeah.
That's
That's
it.
it. That's it.
And it's
Yes.
the same thing with your clients. When the client says, "Can we talk at 8 o'clock tonight?" I'd really love to be able to do that. Unfortunately, I'm not available. But I'll tell you what, I can talk to you at 6:30 tomorrow if that works. You know what I mean? Like, what's wrong with that?
Yeah, I know. We have such a hard time with that. That's such great coaching, though. Like, that's such great coaching. And that's really what you do with your members of Now Nation,
Yes, all the
right? Like,
time.
that's wonderful. So let's talk a little bit about partnership.
Hmm.
You mentioned your partner, Courtney Twiss,
Yes.
and you two have formed a wonderful partner. How many years have you guys been partners now?
Well, so we've been business partners since aligning with EXP. Okay, so it's been about 2.5 years. Prior to that, I helped build her brokerage for 10 years. So she was the broker. I was employed by her. I was, basically helping her. It was her and I and one other agent and grew it to 3 brick and mortars and 50. So I was really just her integrator. And so when we made the decision to come to EXP, that's when we partnered in building Now Nation.
Got it. So you've worked together a long time in these different capacities.
Mhm.
So, what have you learned as sort of co leaders that you would give advice to people that are working with co-leaders on, because I think that is such an important relationship that many of us have in real estate, whether we work with a spouse or we're working with a co-team leader or we're just like working with like agents on other deals together or in the office together. Like there's such an important dynamic there in leadership that clearly the two of you have found something like really special there. So share some of that magic sauce with
Well,
us.
I think that Courtney, myself, and all of the people that you just described, leaders, top producers, we innately feel like we have to do it all. Like, I have to do it all. I can only do it. I do it the best way. My clients only want me. My agents only want me. So it's this thing that we have as drivers and entrepreneurs, and that's just who we are, right? But it's important to leverage your resources and your partnerships with people in a way that allows you to just not have that burden. So for Courtney and I, she's a broker. She has a lot of experience in that arena. I don't have that, right? So there's strengths that she has, there's strengths that I have. I'm definitely somebody that pays attention to detail, very good follow up. She's like, oh my goodness, I should have given this person to you because I dropped this ball. And so we know our strengths and our superpowers so that we can be like, oh, I don't need to do this. You do that. But you have to set your ego aside,
Mhm.
right?
I think that right there, setting your ego aside, is a leadership superpower.
Mm-hmm.
The best leaders I've worked with, the best leaders I work with now, the best leaders I've studied have that ability to set their ego aside,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what leadership is.
Mm-hmm.
I think leaders have egos. You have to have an ego to be a leader, to be out in front. But there's a difference between having an ego and then setting your ego aside.
Yeah. And asking for help. I mean, I may be fully equipped to manage a situation, but also be on a Zoom and an agent needs me, and I call Courtney or text her. I'm like, hey, can you do this for and it a really minor thing, answering a question, and Courtney's on it. So that is all the power of a relationship as well, is just leveraging, asking for help.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Let's talk about the power of these little guys here that we have in the palm of our hands all the time. Because I know that you use this not only as the tool for all things, but you use this as a coaching tool.
Yes, I was just telling you about that. Yes.
Yes.
So I think I've been getting these questions from people in my universe, like specific to Now Nation, but also just going to events. And I keep hearing these questions like, oh, it's such a unique market. What should be? And I just like, there's nothing unique right now. Okay.
I mean, it's not special. It's not like a different market than it's ever been.
What should agents be doing right now? So I'm like literally like just dumbing it down, Wendy, that there are deals right now happening in this little guy. And when I say that, I mean going through and looking at how many contacts you have. Like I mean, I'd be surprised. I want to know how many contacts Wendy has. Scroll down on that contact list, and I bet you'd be surprised. I have over 2,000. There are deals happening in those 2,000 contacts right now. Who are you calling? How many hours are you prospecting? What are you doing to capture those deals? Are they in your CRM?
Yeah.
I mean, really,
Yeah.
the question's like, no. I mean, going back to the basics, like go get the deals, call the people, get them into your CRM.
I love it. I mean, just go get the deals,
Go get the
right? Like,
deals. And that's
but
not even
the
Instagram.
way you just paused and were like, "Are they in your CRM?" Like, that made me a little uncomfortable. Like, I could,
I'm like looking at you, Wendy. Like, how many are in there?
I know. Like, that is such good coaching right there. Great job. I mean, but it is so true. I mean, I can feel how agents would respond to that by like, well, some of them are, some of them aren't, I don't know. I need to do a better job. Like I can hear it all.
But the number, I think then seeing the number in your phone, because we talk about getting your 2 to 300 contacts in your CRM. No, let's see how many you really have.
Yes. Yes. All right. So I think that is the challenge to like the folks listening to this is pick up the phone, open your contacts. What is that number? Are they in your CRM? If they're not in your CRM, get them in your CRM and then start calling them. Start that outreach. Like there is money in this phone and work it. Know your hours that you need to work every day to make your business happen.
Mm-hmm. And take care of yourself.
And take care of yourself. Absolutely. I want to ask you a question that falls in line with what I call the podcast, and that is X Factor, because I believe we all have so many elements that go into what make us special and unique. And that's what I call our X Factor. What do you think is your personal X Factor?
My X factor 1000% is the ability to connect with people. I just know that that's what I'm meant to do. I mean, I spoke with an agent that's not even in our organization yesterday, and she said, Michelle, you have a beautiful spirit. And I thought, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
That is my X factor.
Yeah, it is. It is absolutely. We just saw it in just this last part of the conversation when you were just coaching on the business that's in your phone. We definitely see that. Well, Michelle, I have so enjoyed this conversation. Tell everyone how they can reach you because we didn't even talk about your social media, but your social media is fire. So I want to make sure that everybody follows you on social. So tell us the best way to contact you.
Thank you. And I want to just say thank you for that compliment. And really quick, when we made the decision to align with EXP, I had no social presence.
No
Zero.
way.
None. I was helping Courtney build her brand. So I was the one, pushing all things Twiss and managing all of that. So 2.5 years ago, Ask the General didn't even exist. So you can find me, Ask the General, on all things Michele Roderick on Facebook. Our website is ournownation.com. You can check out what we're building on the website. But I mean, if I can build a social media presence in 2.5 years, anybody else can.
That's a great way to end it there. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us and go follow Michelle on social. Thanks for listening,
Thank
everyone.
you.